Hey guys, what's going on today? This is me, Dal Su. Very excited now to bring you a new Let's Play on Endless Space 2. I have been following this game's development fairly religiously, and I have to say, I'm extremely pleased as punch you might say, at how it's shaping up. It's shaping up to be a real gem, and dare I say, it might even replace Civilization 5 as that game that I just sort of always have running in the background. I always have a Civ 5 game going no matter what I'm doing in my life, but Endless Space might actually supplant it. So suffice to say that this is just, it's a huge event in my sort of gaming life. I've always loved Amplitude, and Endless Space, I think they just really have nailed the formula here. And I'm so excited to see how they finish it out. In my mind, it's like 90% done. Anyway, this is version 3.4 S2, which you might know as the Riftborn update, because there's a new race, the Riftborn. And the Riftborn are these kind of ethereal sort of angel robots, I guess is my poetic way, semi-poetic way of describing them. They come from like a sort of fourth dimension of some kind, where everything's white. So anyway, what about settings? Let's talk about settings. I'm going to play on normal speed. I'm going to play on hard difficulty. I can beat it on serious, but the camera adds a few pounds, as they say, so it makes it a little bit harder to play when you're recording. I'm turning off score victory, and I'm turning off economic victory. The reason is, in the last patch, I don't know about this patch, but the AI can tend to kind of run away with money very easily. And especially if you're really isolated, it can be hard to stop that. So I'm going to do that. I'm usually going for a science victory here, which shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, the rest of the settings are pretty standard if you want to play along. Star-based planet order. I think that's new. If enabled, planets are logically placed according to their type, the hottest near the star. Oh, that's interesting, huh? That's a pretty cool feature. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into a game here. Hopefully it won't get broken by the new patch. That's destined to come at some point, but for right now, this game is 99% good to go, so we're gonna do a playthrough, and I'm gonna shut up for those of you who don't have the game and who are interested in this new race and their aesthetic. It's a pretty cool intro scene, so enjoy.
Ours was a pristine universe. We knew nothing of your endless, your dust, until the rift ripped a path between our realities, injecting a blight that spread like poison. Our cosmos of order and balance was shattered forever. Dying, corrupted, and consumed. We had no choice. We are outcasts in the chaos that is your universe, willing to do anything to save our own.
So, besides having ships that kind of resemble a very expensive vibrator, they have a pretty cool aesthetic, as you can see. So, their unique ability, you know, as every race has a sort of unique mechanic, is what's called a singularity. You can see the little singularity slots right here, and all of this is just a buff or a debuff that you can give various systems. I pretty much just exclusively use the buff because it's really strong. This one, compression singularity, gives you 25% to all FIDs. That is food, which doesn't really matter so much because this race actually builds their population. Science, you know, little gears for industry, and money, dust. So it's really powerful. It also gives you plus 100% experience to your heroes and 100% experience to your ships that are in the area. So it's legit, let's just say. And you can have 3 of those active at any time. So for the beginning of the game, and they don't cost manufacturing. They cost a little bit of titanium and some money. Super useful right off the bat. Okay, so we're going to be using a lot of those. Now, before I get into building stuff, I think I should probably jet around a little bit and see what's near me. Let's actually take a look at my area first. I start on a coal planet, and then I've got temperate savanna, So that's not too hard to colonize. Ash is super hard to colonize, so we're going to be forgetting about that for a while. And then lava is also super hard to colonize. So not a great start, but I do start with titanium and Hyperium. I don't know if they made that change across the board now, but I seem to start with it every game, at least on this race. So it's going to be interesting to see if they implemented that change. I haven't played any other races since the patch, so I don't know. Alright, so we've got 3 star lanes going in different directions. I don't think I want to use any of my probes on the anomalies here. I could, but there's not really any point if you can't colonize the planet. Unless you discover something that you can use immediately, like some titanium or something. Which is nice, but it's not as nice as being able to scout in 3 directions at once. So we're gonna send a probe this way. Send a probe this way. And then that does use up all of our turns, but we're gonna go ahead and send our colony ship this way. That's kind of the... so we got just like a little constellation there, or nebular clouds or whatever. It's useful later when you sort of get it incorporated, which won't be hard because it's not far. But I would have much rather had a couple planets there, so... How about our ship? Why can't I click on it? Okay, do we have any more moves? No, we don't have any more moves. So we're done with our movement for the turn. Yeah, this is our intro text. This is our hero. So let's go ahead and get him looked at. He's got plus 10% science on system. Per anomaly, I believe, is only anomalies on planets that you actually colonize. We can probably test it. So there's an anomaly. So we only have 1 anomaly in this whole system right now that we can see. But we don't have it colonized. So I'd be interested to see if this gives us 10 science. What's our science right now? 51. So if we assign him, now it doesn't actually give you science because you don't have it colonized. That's fair. That's fair, I guess. But it should say that in the tooltip at least. Okay, so we figured that mystery out. What are we gonna build? I almost always start with a drone network, except for this race it's not as useful because instead of using food, you don't really use food at all as the Riftborn. Instead you build your population in these things called machine embodiments. So because I already have 3, it's quite actually I only have 2, and then a epistis. Well, see, the thing about the Riftborn is their pop is amazing. 5 production, 5 gold, 5 science, like right off the bat. So they're amazing. Like, you want to build as many as you can, but the cost goes up as you build more. So it can get a little tough, especially when you just start or you just start a colony. It's a little bit hard to get rolling. Also, you don't have manpower production at all, so you have to build your manpower using different things, but mostly this. Fabricate forces allows you to turn your industry into manpower. Really cool mechanic, actually. So I could do an interplanetary transport network because we start with strategic resources. So that would be an instant plus 9 production. That's better than the drone network. But it's 6 turns rather than 3. We could also do Xeno-Industrial, which we don't have a fertile or a temperate planet, so it's only 10. But that's 6 turns for 10. On the other hand, we could just build a pop for 5. So kind of a tough choice. It'd be really nice once I get 5 titanium, I can go ahead and pop my my buff, which will make everything go a lot faster. I'm thinking this one is going to scale more because once we get the other 2 pop, that's going to be a total of 15 production, so it's probably best thing to go with right now. It's a little bit slow, but that's just the beginning of the game. We've seen that, We can't actually move. I don't know why it tries to tell you can move when you can't sometimes. We'll go ahead and assign them to that lane, and we'll assign you to that lane. Okay, so I guess that's kind of a move. Research queue, yeah, I forgot about that. That's pretty important. Not something you want to forget. Okay, so most early game is about sort of getting the basic technologies for defending yourself. Not so much in this difficulty, but because I'm not super scared, and maybe that's to my detriment. But you want to kind of get these early. See, they've changed it again. It used to be, it was different in the last patch, but now it's like you don't automatically get awesome weapons just by going up in a tier, which sort of is a good change, because before, once you got to this tier, you got level 2 weapons automatically, and they were almost as powerful as the, you know, special resource weapons. So it's sort of balanced out. Now you have the basic ones that don't require special resources over here, and then you don't actually get the special resources ones until here, I believe. So, and you still have to choose, though. They still did the sort of mutually exclusive ones, which I don't know how I feel about that, but anyway, they're not like hard counters, is what Amplitude says. So it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, so I could unlock level 2 tech if I wanted to on military. I could try that on this Empire development. There's not too much I want there. This is like highly food related, so I probably won't do that. On the other hand, rare earth forms would give me Mediterranean colonization or tundra colonization, but I don't have any of that stuff. However, science would be pretty nice. Plus 10 per planet would be nice. I think I'm gonna start with that. Also wanting to get this unlocked. There's some good techs in there. I do have a step, don't I? I believe I have a step. And yeah, there's just some good tech there. This upgrades your scouts, which is a new thing, which is pretty nice. Colonize Savannah and Warp Drive, which allows free movement. So all that's pretty important. So I feel pretty good about that pick. And let's take a quick peek at our laws before we do anything. They've changed this whole system a lot. It's a lot smoother now and better. Basically, your political parties like upgrade, sort of like RPG style. So if you're continuously supporting and doing things the industrialists like, they get more and more powerful over time, which allows you to do more and more powerful laws, which is how it should be, really. And so I'm very pleased with that change. Right now, all we have are 2 parties, and they're both just functional. So we really can't pass much of anything. However, they have also introduced these little white circle laws, which are not backed by any particular ideology, so far as I can tell. So none of these are super nice right now. I think super tax is nice because I don't need approval that much, and plus it's a small approval hit for money. I want money because I need it for my buffs, so I'm going to go with that law. Plus it's free to pass. And also another change I didn't mention is laws now cost upkeep. I don't know if I can actually show you right now, but see at the little bottom left it says +1 influence per person. So that's in your whole empire, so they get really expensive now, and influence actually has meaning now, which is also a great change, because there was a lot of times when I had a bunch of influence and nothing at all to do with it, and it was a pointless resource. But now it's got that upkeep, so you need influence to be able to maintain law. So it's really, really nice. This is all this balancing that they've done. They really listen, I think, to people's desires, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling, but another goddamn what you call it? I don't even know what you call these. They're like anomalies, but there's another thing called anomalies, so I won't call them anomalies. They are just things that have effects on your systems, but they're not colonizable, so that kind of sucks as well. Let's go over here with my colony ship. Okay. So another thing they've changed, and I don't know how much this was actually changed, but you can now buy out minor factions using nothing other than good old influence, which I don't have enough of right now, but that's what I'm going to be doing instead of attacking them. It's just a lot easier because you can use your influence to buy them out, just like in Civ or anything like that. So we're going to be doing that, but he's going to have to turn around because this is a dead end. This is not looking like a great area immediately around me at the moment. I guess we will see, but I'm going to head up there with my scout. I should have gone over there because my probe does have 4 more turns, but it looks like this is going to turn to the left and the probe won't quite cover it, so nothing else I can do there. I'm going to get xenobiology. The thing I want to research next. We don't really care about this early money. Early on money's not super helpful. So I'm thinking maybe we go in a more militaristic sense, just like open up the military tab a little bit. Let's do that. The tech I chose wasn't actually terribly important. It does give you like some defensive thing, and then it gives you the chain gang program, which is like convert, you know, your pop into manpower, which I don't really use now that they have got this thing, this fabricate forces. I just do instead. Works pretty well once you get up to like 1,000 production, and you can convert half of that into manpower per turn. It's pretty awesome, really. Anyway, so we can do those little science things, and we can colonize tundra. I don't see any tundra around, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just not a lot. Smyrna. What do you got, Smyrna? Gas and desert. Again, this is not a great start, really, I have to say. Yeah, we unlocked the next level. Ugh. Not doing much for me. I'll take that corner and hopefully find something. Not gonna do it yet, huh? This kinda sucks. I mean, I basically... That is bad. 2 different of these things without any colonizable planets in my immediate area. It's okay. We'll be fine. Looks like we're not quite on the edge of the galaxy. There could be... One of the other things that they changed, and this is quite a big change, there are now, like, isolated pockets of stars. Like, this might not be connected to any other star system. So the tech that allows you to actually travel through space unlocks free movement for all ships. It didn't really matter in the last patch because there was not that many opportunities to do it, if any. But now there are. So you might, it's like basically like this is land, and then there's some water, and then there's a continent over here, like in Civ, except, you know, you can cross it. It slows you way down, and plus you got to get a tech to cross it. So it keeps the early, like, one of the problems in the early game before was it was just a clusterfuck. Everyone was around you. Everyone had immediate access to everything you had immediate access to, and you were just fighting to the death for these little bitty planets, and it made the early game just way too clustered. So now there's a little bit of space, there's a little bit of separation, and you don't have to focus just exclusively on military and capturing planets right off the bat. However, you still do want to do, you know, capturing planets. That's important in any 4X game, you know, expand. It's the main X. Okay, so my custom quest here is construct 11 system improvements is what I'll probably go with. Yeah, I don't care to try to do that. I'm going to do this. It's got a nice, juicy reward, so yeah. 11 system improvements will just happen without me even trying. So that's one of the things I like about it. Cancer. Jesus. Toxic. Snow. Ice. Barren. One of the weird things is that even though you start on a snow, don't you? Or is it an ice? Yeah, I start on a snow, but I can't colonize snow. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. These are all going to be tough. Snow is like 3rd tier, I think. We got desert we can colonize, and snow, yeah. 3rd tier for snow and desert. So basically those are my options. I got snow here because did it say ice or did it say Arctic? I believe it said Arctic. Yeah, ice doesn't come till the next tier. So all we can do is that snow planet and this desert planet. So I have to prioritize those techs. And then we've also got a savanna in our main base that's pretty easy to get. So yeah, if we want to expand, we're going to have to utilize the tech. And I think that's what Amplitude really intended in the first place. So, it, you know, this might not suck as bad as I'm making it out to be. Anyway, We found a whole other area, so let's check this out. Steppes, okay, that's an easy one to colonize. Arctic is easy one to colonize. Gas is not. Barren is not. Okay, so we got some potential here. It's just I can't use my colony ship right off the bat, which is a little discouraging, but I think what we do is we land here with our scout and then shoot off some probes in this direction. I bet there's another system like over here somewhere. Probably. This is taking forever, of course, because our production's so shit. But this is going to bolster us up. It's only going to be 9 right now, but then I'll probably grab this guy next, so it'll be 12. Alright, colony ship. He's still got a move on him. Alright, turn the corner, I guess. Alright, so we got our military tab open now. So there's several things we could go for. We could go for just some of the basic weapons. Sync laser. These are the basic armors. You notice neither one of these requires any special resource. So they used to just give you this kind of shit automatically, and it made the resource stuff kind of not really worth pursuing. Now you got to research it. You can't actually get the special ones until tier 3, right? Which makes more sense, I think. It's still kind of confusing to me how it's laid out. This is missile. This is laser. This is, I think they're like differentiating between, no? Okay, this is, alright, so these are the basic level 2 ones. No. These are, it's just a little confusing. These are lasers and these are beams, right? These are slugs, these are torpedoes. I'm not really sure like what the difference is, but they've kind of split it up into beam, laser, slug, torpedo. So that's a little bit confusing. It's taking me a while to get the hang of. But yeah, so you don't really need the special resources so badly in the beginning like you used to. Anyway, more important than all that is this, which actually gives you the military ships that you can build. So you can't even build military ships until you get this. So you want to go ahead and get this unlocked. I don't care about farming, so I'm going to skip that one and go straight for this one. It gives you infinite supermarkets, which, you know, I probably won't build right now because morale will be fine. And then it allows you to, you know, establish diplomacy with minor factions. So it'll be helpful for these guys. And I think that's a great spot to end the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Very excited about this new series. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. Hope you will too. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.